And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Anytime you're talking about fundamentals in a market and direction, fundamentals take a little bit of time to play out.
We got crude oil today, kind of trading yesterday's value area really nicely, low to high.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Let's turn on our volume there. Good afternoon, friends and traders. Welcome to the Market Recap. I am Dan Hodgman. It is Monday, October 18th, and I hope everyone's long NASDAQ. I see a couple comments here. They're bearish, or it didn't go well for them today, and hopefully we can, when we take a look, we can do a little recap. We can take a look back, see where we were right, see where we were wrong. Hopefully there was some opportunity. I really think I look at the equity, the NASDAQ market today, and we're going to look at this. And we're going to show you where a great buy opportunity was to really take advantage of the trend. Fell back into a really nice area, presented opportunity, and so some good trade there. And you have a lot of stuff going on with earnings. Apple releasing all their new stuff, I guess you could say. So lots going on there. We've got crude oil breaks down this morning, opens up near overnight high, fails to go make that high. Market rotates lower, comes right down to settlement price and pushes right through. S&P 500 opens up. That one was a little bit slower of a mover. You had NASDAQ really make that upside move, but S&Ps took a little bit. But S&P was really an indicator for me here this morning when I was looking at the NASDAQ. As a matter of fact, S&Ps were breaking above settlement price as the NASDAQ was trying to pull back right around settlement price. S&P started to push through. That to me was a great sign that settlement price is going to be an accelerator when looking at the NASDAQ, and that worked out really nicely there. Gold stays inside all day long. We work ourselves from overnight high down to yesterday's value area low. Euro opens up this morning and continues with overnight trend, but took a little while to get a little directional, right? We watched that one work inside all day until about 10:30, 11 o'clock this morning. Finally broke out to the upside and went and checked some new highs. And the 10-year note, pretty much an inside day there, pretty quiet using overnight levels. So some opportunity across the board. Hopefully you guys found something there. And if not, that's all right. It's only Monday. We got a long week ahead of us. I think people are betting on big earnings, right? We're going to take a look at earnings here today. I lost that tab, so I'm going to pull it back up. Let me pull my earnings tab up. Of course, it's disappeared on me. 1 second. Let me just pull this up. Somehow all my stuff cleared out. Here we go. We're all pulling this up. So we're going to take a look at earnings here in just a moment. But why don't we go ahead and I think earnings are going to be the leader here this week. We're going to want to pay close attention to it. What's going on? So let's go ahead and take a look at our charts first, and then we'll kind of dive into everything else going on. All right, so as always, we want to start with our crude oil market. So like we said, crude oil opened up this morning near overnight highs, right? We've got kind of a defined level. What is that? Big fat round number, $83. Market opens up, pushes to $83, but fails to come check highs. That should be a quick indication of the market's looking to rotate inside. Market starts to rotate inside. We have settlement price here in this market down at 82.28. 82.28. Market rotates down towards settlement price. Whoops. Hold on a second. That is not correct. Remember, this market has rolled. We have rolled in crude oil. I didn't update my my quote board there. Settlement price down at 81.73. 81.73. Friday's value or point of control. So this market opens up, starts to close that gap. Now is our job. We want to look for those points of weakness. This is really where I start to look for an opportunity. As this market checks overnight consolidation area where we found a little bit of resistance that once became support. I'm going to watch this market move through. I'm waiting for that small little pullback near this level, and I'm going to say, all right, now's my chance. Let's see if I can get this market to rotate lower, down towards settlement price. Remember, settlement price down at 81.73. Really a good opportunity for trade. Market rotates lower, continues through. We push almost all the way down to Friday's value, or Friday's regular trading hour low. But really, to me, if you miss the initial short up here, this is the next point. We're starting to look for short. Overnight consolidation. We're looking for the break to the downside here. Market rotating back inside. And that's exactly what happens. Works out pretty nicely there. Next, let's look at the S&P 500. S&P 500 settlement price yesterday, Friday at 44.62 half. 44.62 half right here. Really good chance. Point of control from Friday. Market opens up, gets directional. And here's where we get to start to look. Once this market starts testing Friday's value high, point of control, settlement price as market tests. And you got two options here. Am I looking for this market to rotate back inside, or am I looking for this market to break out? Well, we know NASDAQ at this point has already moved past settlement price and continued in the direction to the upside. So NASDAQ's making that move. Look for S&Ps maybe to follow. Is that going to be our question? So you got two options here. As market starts to move through, I'm thinking probably initially I'm looking for this market to rotate back inside. Get stopped out in that first trade. That's okay. Once we start to trade outside, now we've got opportunity to look for this market to continue. So you can look at it in two opportunities. You can take that short. You can get stopped out. Hey, not a big deal. Next, we're looking for that next opportunity. Wait for that pullback. Wait for that market to give you a chance to get in on direction. Not going to be a huge direction after that move. Remember, we said settlement price was down here at 62.5, and market high is up at 79.75. So not a huge move unless you were able to catch that initial move as the market came down and checked overnight swing low. All right, now, NASDAQ. NASDAQ, to me, was a great opportunity here today. As S&Ps were starting to accept up above settlement price, NASDAQ was trying to struggle a little bit and finally got that rip to the upside. So here's what I'm looking at. We are opening up at value low from Friday. We're opening up near overnight lows. Market starts to pull down. Really, if you were trading here, you probably were able to see it pretty clear off the open. We were struggling. Market came and checked it a couple times, and it kept making, if you're looking at shorter time frame, it kept making higher lows. Market starts to rotate higher. Where do we rotate to? Point of control. We blew right through point of control. Wasn't even happy. It wasn't even an opportunity to possibly trade here. Now we're starting to trade above Friday's value high. We're trading up above Friday's swing high. And here we go. This, to me, was our opportunity. As the market pulls back, we've got settlement price right at 134 half. 134 half. Market pulls right back to it. A little bit through, just slightly. And it was a quick bounce. Market gets directional. Take that long all day long on a 30-minute chart here. 0 red candles. Pretty crazy watching that one happen. Next, let's look at gold, which I said. Gold stayed relatively inside. Opened up this morning, popped a little bit, came and checked overnight highs. First area I'm looking. If I break outside overnight highs, I'm looking at Friday value high. Did not get there. Rotates back inside. And this is where I'm going to start to look for my shorts. I'm watching this market struggle to make new highs right up here at that 71 mark. I'm going to look for this market to rotate back inside towards point of control from Friday, value area low from Friday. That's where I'm going to start to look. Not huge profits, maybe $300 to $400 in a profit here as this market rotates back inside and we trade just slightly outside of Friday's value low. Next, let's look at the euro. Euro, this morning we saw overnight moves started trending higher. And here's what I love. Gets really choppy for a while. Struggles. It struggles. And then we get that push to the bottom. We get that push to the downside. As soon as we make that move to the downside, comes right to Friday's low, Friday's value area low, and we get that move. We start to see the rally that we're looking for. Market rallies higher and comes right to last week's swing high. Now, it's going to be a big pivotal location for me here in the overnight session and in tomorrow. Does last week's swing high present resistance and that have this market rotate back inside, and then we start to fall into trend kind of between 116.20, let's call it 116.30, and back on the low side down by, let's call it 116 even? Are we going to fall into that type of channel, or is this market going to break out to the upside and continue a trend? All right, lastly, let's look at the 10-year note. 10-year note, not really defined levels here. Market opens up, we get a pop. Fail to make new highs, we rotate back inside. We have broken outside of this little bit of a trend. Now my question is, are we going to start to make higher highs? We failed here today to make new highs. I'm going to keep an eye on this trend. I'm going to see if this market holds trend to the upside. If not, look for it to rotate inside. Other than that, not a ton for us to talk about here at the 10-year note. But I do see some comments and questions here, so I want to make sure I answer everything and say hello to everyone. So first and foremost, Frederico, good to see you. You're bearish now. I assume you're talking equities. Hard to be bearish for me on a big directional move like this on a Monday. We got a long week ahead of us with a lot of earnings. And so far, no bad news. Brian, good to see you. Spencer, Charles, didn't end well for me today in NQ. Hopefully, Charles, you look for those opportunities, start to recognize when that market is making that directional breakout move. They're few and far between sometimes, but when we get that chance, it's pretty exciting stuff. Let's see, PK, good to see you. Dr. VJ, good to see you as well. It is a definite bull day for sure. Hopefully, big earnings keep things going up. We got that potential, no doubt about that. Swing high, turn into support. Good afternoon, Zarang. Good to see you. Dan, during the trend days, if price has not checked settlement, do you wait for a test usually, or would you enter before possible? Yeah, absolutely, Charles. I'm looking for the closing the gap to settlement relatively quick. It's not an all-day thing unless that market is slowly rotating over. I'm looking for that move to happen in that first little bit, or at least start to make that move. I am okay giving up on that. I mean, I say it all the time. My first thing I'm looking at when I sit down is, do I have the potential to close the gap to settlement price? Like NASDAQ, like S&P, like crude oil today. Those were some markets that I looked at and I said, hey, these do have potential to close the gap to settlement price. You got crude oil trading near overnight highs. We saw that resistance up at $83. No doubt about it. I'm looking to see if maybe that market will close that gap. I like the opportunity to enter up at 83. So you got chance there. S&Ps open up near lows, overnight lows. Same with NASDAQ, both opening up at overnight lows, looking to see if I can get that quick move off the open, closing the gap. But if it doesn't happen right away, let's say crude oil this morning breaks out up above 83. I'm short at 83, but we start to make new highs past overnight highs. I'm quickly getting out of that. I'm dropping my bias. I'm looking to go with direction. Direction says in crude oil, we're trending higher. We finally kind of broke out of that to the downside here a little bit today. So give up on it quick. I can't expect him to do it every day. So it's that first thing I look at when I sit down. Is there a chance? Are we too far away? A lot of questions. Yeah, I don't mind giving up chunks, right? If I'm giving up a chunk waiting to see what happens, I'm absolutely okay with that. My job's not to take the whole move. I want to take pieces of it. I want to get my little chunks. I don't need all-day moves. I don't need to be long. NASDAQ from that 50 handle and expect I'm going to get 250 points out of it today. I don't need to do that. I want to find my entry points. I want to be in a position where I'm locking in my profits. So, yeah, I don't mind missing chunks. No red candles on the 15-minute 2 almost. Yeah, I think we have, one or two over there on the 15. How do you do your pre-market analysis? I'm making mistakes because I'm not preparing right. Amari, great question. Everyone's going to be different. I have a little checklist of things I go through. I first off, what's market state been on a higher time frame? Throughout the week. Weekly, I look at like huge time frame. Where were we at this time last year? What's our weekly trends doing? But usually each and every day, I'm not really looking past a daily. I'm not really looking past the daily on a day time frame. So I'll look at the dailies, and then I'll look at the 4 hour. I look at the hourly. I look at the 30-minute, and that's usually where I stop. Sometimes I look at a 15, but not too often. So that's the first thing I'm doing. I'm trying to define what's market state, and any level that I see on those charts, I'm just plotting it really quick or writing it down. I write everything down. As you guys have probably shown you before, You can look through. I got everything over time sitting here, tracking all my information. Everything's dated. I marked down all my levels. I like to put them on the chart so I do have a visual of them as a reminder as we approach them. Okay, hey, you marked this. I'll look on my card. I'll go, oh, that's what this level is. Okay, I like that or I don't like that. So I define my levels. I like a channel. I like to draw out a channel that I'm going to look for this market to trade in. It can be sideways. It can be up and it can be down. But it's just, I draw a channel. If I'm trending lower, I don't want to sell those bottoms as we get to this low side of the channel. And if I miss the break from there, and if it breaks lower and harder, that's okay. I'm waiting for, if we got a channel like this, I'm waiting for that market to go down, bounce off it, come back to the high side of the channel, and I'm looking for the break from there. So I do that. I'm finding a lot of levels. The basics are settlement price, points of control, value area, overnight high, overnight low, prior day high, prior day low, and prior week high and prior week low, and any level that kind of stands out. That's really what I like to look at. I try and keep this very simple. And then you got to listen to what Hoag's talking about on the market forecast. He brings in a lot of information. Maybe it helps to have a differing opinion or someone else validating your stance usually helps. So I'm working with a couple of trading buddies of mine that I talk to in the mornings, and it's usually how I go about it. All right. I digress. What do we got going today? Let's take a look at our Bitcoin. Bitcoin's finally back over that 60,000 mark, $61,630 there. We've got our Airbnb stock moving higher once again, up to $172.32 today. GameStop got a nice little move again. We're holding back up above 180, 186.02. AMC, nice pop there as well. 5.5% move, 43.03. Tesla just continues. We go from $850 today up to $870 a share. Robinhood really staying pretty darn close to that $40, $41.65. And VIX, no surprise here. VIX is down 16.3. No surprise there as the market rallies higher. Look for VIX to break down. All right, a couple things. Tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. really is going to be the only number. Housing starts and permits. That's about it. We get a little bit heavier towards the end of the week. And then let's go ahead and pull up our earnings for tomorrow. A couple ones to pay attention to. Johnson & Johnson. Hey, that'll be a big one. They just got the thumbs up, I think, on the booster. Could be wrong on that. Netflix, Philip Morris, Fifth Third Bank, Travelers Insurance, Halliburton, and United Airlines. So we got some numbers coming through. See here, reading your question. It's me from that day before when I asked about how to control my emotions when I'm trading. I've done really good results now thanks to you and the other guys that day. Oh, Med, I'm so happy to hear that. Congratulations. And if you got questions, continue to drop them in. Bring them over to us. We're happy to talk about them. By the way, tomorrow, actually going to be really exciting. We have Coach's Playbook tomorrow morning. We're going to be, or tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Time. We're going to be sitting down. And it was actually one of you guys mentioned it, asked us to kind of break it down a little bit. We're going to talk about trading trending markets, breakouts, ranges, directional. We're going to kind of dive into like what we're looking for and how we're trading them, right? So I'm really excited about that. Oh, nice. Epic Tetsu. Congratulations. Love hearing that. A little Iron Condor. I haven't heard that one in a while. All right. Last thing on this date in history, and we'll get on out of here before John gets back tomorrow morning. We got one. On this day in 1867, U.S. purchased Alaska from Russia. 412 square miles for $7.2 million. Other than that, guys, that's what I got for us here today. John will be back tomorrow morning at 7:45 a.m. Central Time with the market forecast. And again, don't forget, tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Time, we got the Coach's Playbook. We're talking ranges. We're talking trends. We're talking breakouts and how we like to trade them all. So on that note, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign on out of here. I hope you all have a spectacular afternoon. And look forward to seeing you guys in the markets. Take care.